Believe it or not, Ronan's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes, where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Steven out your YouTube, brother, let's roll.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being American, and YouTube Ronin, and I would like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Unscripted. First off, I want to say hello to everyone currently following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Tonight we control the vertical, we control the horizontal. I want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here in the live chat. Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Clary. Friend of the channel, D. Penzac. Channel member for 23 months, JP, RPH1. Okay, so how many people saw the BAFTAs? Thank you. After this applause has died down. Yes. For those of you who were not the 10s that watched the BAFTAs, there was a man there by the name of John Davidson. John Davidson suffers from Tourette's syndrome. And a movie was made about his life that has been very big in England, a movie called I Swear. It's already been released in theaters in the UK, but here it's only hit like the festival circuit. So not very many people here in this country anyway had really heard of it. And, you know, it's about this man, John Davidson, it's his life story. He has Tourette's syndrome. And kind of the negative effect that it has had on his life. But how he has also persevered through that. Now, the actor portraying Davidson in the film won the Best Actor BAFTA Award. Now, while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage presenting, Mr. Davidson said a couple of words. He said a word that I will refer to tonight as nougat in place of what he did say that we can't say here on YouTube, which I'm fine with. And he also said the word bitch. He quickly exited. But there was something of a firestorm afterward. One thing certainly became very clear is that those who voted for the BAFTAs very clearly did not watch the film they were voting for. Otherwise, they would have known that this was something that could happen. And hello to Sense Corner. my co-host on the Mystery Movie Night podcast. Next edition, March 10th. Now, Tourette's syndrome is something that is clearly still misunderstood. And there's also a lot of people who can't seem to do a very simple Google search. So I decided that I would do that for them. And I am going to share that with you at this time. All right. Tourette's syndrome is a neurological disorder characterized by involuntary movements and vocalizations called tics, typically beginning in childhood. Tourette's syndrome, TS, is a neurodevelopmental disorder that causes sudden, repetitive, and involuntary movements or sounds known as tics. These tics can be motor tics such as blinking, shrugging, or facial grimacing, and vocal tics such as throat clearing, sniffing, or sometimes uttering words or phrases, including socially inappropriate ones in rare cases. Tics can often start between the ages of 5 and 10, with motor tics usually appearing before vocal tics. Tics are often preceded by a premonitory urge of uncomfortable sensation is temporarily relieved when the tic is performed. While tics can sometimes be suppressed for short periods, they are involuntary and unpredictable, varying in frequency, severity, location over time. TS is more common in males, who are 3 to 4 times more likely to develop the condition than females. Keep that in mind. The exact cause of Tourette's syndrome is unknown. It is believed to involve a combination of genetic and environmental factors, as well as abnormalities in brain chemicals, neurotransmitters, such as dopamine and serotonin. TS is not degenerative, and most individuals have a normal life expectancy. Symptoms often improve during adolescence, though some people may continue to experience tics into adulthood. Keep that in mind as well. There is no cure for Tourette's syndrome, but treatments such as behavioral therapy and medication can help manage tics when they interfere with daily life. Many people with TS do not require treatment if their symptoms are mild. Understanding TS helps reduce stigma and supports individuals in managing the condition effectively. You know, sometimes a quick Google search usually clears that whole thing up. Has the BBC said why they didn't cut this out of the broadcast? Why did they not cut it out of the broadcast? Now, honestly, I don't know that. Why they didn't. Usually a live program is on some sort of a delay. But, you know, the internet is what it is. And now when the BAFTAs are shown in the United States, it's usually not live. Unless they've changed that. I don't know. I don't have BBC America. But usually by then, if there's anything that needs to be edited out, you know, they tend to jump on it. But apparently they didn't in this case for whatever reason. Yeah, it wasn't live. It had been pre-recorded. So why didn't they cut it out? I honestly couldn't tell you. Since from what I've heard, Warner Brothers contacted BAFTA and asked them to remove that part because it was pre-recorded. BAFTA said they would, but they didn't. Lame. Feel bad for all of them, him, Jordan, and no, yeah, because they're all blameless in this, honestly. They just happen to be the guys who were on stage when he went off, and believe me, I can tell you, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this. When I used to work at a place called the Sweetwater Cafe. Doesn't exist anymore in its in that, at least in that form anyway. And there was a woman, a customer, who was a regular customer, who suffered from Tourette's. So, and hello to our man from the future, Sashi. Now, I was not, when I got there, I was new. I was a new guy. I was the new guy, and I was not made aware of, like, who this woman was or that she had any issues. So I am, and hello to Aged Boomer. So, number one, I'm not going to bring up this woman's name because I do not wish to dox her or to embarrass her because she has an illness that she didn't ask for, certainly didn't want, and was oftentimes very embarrassed by. Now, like I said, I was a new guy at this restaurant. I did not know this woman, had not been introduced, and nobody thought to do so. So I'm working one morning, and she's already there. She was kind of like I said, a regular customer. And it's in the morning, and she had walked in. And the way that the restaurant was set up is there was like a main dining room. Then there was a hallway because we were in a building that housed several other businesses. And then, you had to cross the hall to get into the bar area. And the bar area was where the woman was sitting. And, I'm in the hallway, I'm cleaning up, it's early. And I hear like this blood-curdling scream. And then the screaming continued. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I hear, goddamn motherfucking nougat! I explained earlier what word I'm putting in the place of nougat, right? So I'm like, what in the is going on? And I bust through the door, expecting some woman to, I don't know, being attacked, because that's what I thought was going on. So I bust through the door, and there's the woman, and she's just sitting there, at the bar, perfectly, there's nobody else in there. And I guess someone else had heard the commotion because they got me out of there real quick, and then explained, that this woman had Tourette's. And she would often, go into these, she would have these verbal tics where she would just it would just be this line of, expletives, you know. And it, so I mean, I wasn't an idiot, I knew what Tourette's was, because like I said, very simple Google search. Or, oh, I got an idea, people. Maybe pick up a book and read. Now, this was a place that I worked at for years, and like I said, this woman was a regular, so you got used to it, after a while. The screaming, the just kind of random language. And, and this was something that, having a chance to, like, talk to her every once in a while would be like, it was something that she was very embarrassed by, but she was trying her best to go on with her life. And I know that there were people around that made that very difficult for her. And hello, Mikey, Shetty blogger. Now, remembering that, being in contact with this woman and seeing what John Davidson has had to go through in his life, I understand. I get it. And the situation that took place at the BAFTAs, you had a lot of people who were busy virtue signaling, for one thing. People who very clearly didn't watch this film, because you've got all of a sudden these people who are like experts on Tourette's going, well, if you have no filter, da-dee-da-da, oh, that must already be in your mind if you're going to go and say that. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And I am not going to turn this into like a Grace Randolph passing session. The woman has her audience and she plays to it, and that's fine. Whatever. Your channel, do what you want with it. But look, stepping on a man who is sick, who has this condition that he can't control, doesn't want, trust me, he doesn't want it. Stepping on him so that you can make some brownie points with your little lefty friends, that's not going to work with me. Do some reading. Do some research. It's not very hard. Like I said, I've known somebody who's had to deal with this. I know there are people in the chat who know people who've had to deal with this. Might even have family that's had to deal with it. So if you are laughing at these people and making fun of them, or if you want to make their life more difficult, or if you want to segregate them, you are telling me far more about yourself than you are Mr. Davidson. Okay? The man has apologized until he is blue in the face. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't have to apologize. They should have known. They should have understood. You invited him. Supposedly you saw the movie about his life. Supposedly you voted for it. You know what you're getting yourself into. making fun of someone who is ill or making them feel any worse than they already do, that's not going to fly with me. Yeah, they knew ahead of time. They knew what they were getting into. They knew who this guy was. Almost like they wanted it to happen. Doesn't it come off like they wanted to gin up a controversy? A plan? Maybe. Why miss a chance to virtue signal? Turn a crisis into something useful, because people need to be taught lessons. You teach yourself some lessons. Maybe talk to the guy and see what he's going through. Maybe do some research. Maybe shut up if you don't know what you're talking about. Because what if that was your brother, your son, your father, your uncle? How would you want them to be treated? Would you want them excoriated in the press? Nah, man, it's sick. I'm certainly not going to put up with it. Because I've seen what this condition can do to someone. And the toll that it takes. These are people who just want to go on with their lives. You know, this is not, like I said, Tourette's. Tourette's is not a fatal disease. You know, it's not a degenerative disease, but it is something that people have to live with. And yeah, there's medication and shit, but you know, that only goes so far. And hello, Tim. Black woman with a condition made a video explaining what it was about. She was bullied like crazy for instead of choosing her disability over her race. What the absolute hell? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, and this is happening because it's like, geez, you know, what do we do? Do we discuss race or do we discuss ableism? And it's like, what do you do when the two things that you're trying to virtue signal over cancel each other out? And these are the people who talk to us as if they are our betters. And the way that they treated Mr. Davidson over the last week. The way they treated the woman in the video that Sin is talking about. And I've seen that video as well. I suggested everybody go out there and find it. It's on X. It's almost like they're looking for things to complain about, things that they can get their little brownie points about, and doing it while stepping on someone with a condition such as Tourette's. It bothers me, man. It gets under my skin. Sashi says, this has happened before with the streamer Sweet Anita. She has Tourette's and presented at an awards and was almost canceled. Yeah. I mean, and look. Yes, people with Tourette's, they use, racial language, as a part of it. And like I said, this woman that I knew from the restaurant, that woman did not have a racist bone in her body. But yet she would say, like, the most screwed up things, and it, and it would just, it's like she couldn't control it, and it upset her. I could see it did. And, it's hard seeing that, seeing somebody suffering, seeing somebody who, this almost crippling embarrassment that they have after it. So show a little bit of understanding. Mikey says it's a sad state of affairs when disability, race, gender, religion are all being discussed in the most disgusting and destructive ways. Karma comes to everyone. They learn in a better way. And it happens to them eventually. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, that's really all I wanted to say tonight was, show some understanding to people who have this condition. They didn't ask for it. They didn't bring it on themselves. It's an illness. Trust me, they are embarrassed at what comes out of their mouths. And it's not something that they can control or something that they want to say. I don't want to sound like a PSA, but do unto others as you would want, you know the rest. Because, and hello to Enigma. Good to see you, sir. Because I tell you that the masks are starting to slip. And the people who keep claiming that they're the tolerant ones and that they're understanding and have this higher level of intelligence and are on the right side of history, a lot of them really don't. So we need his comment on the issue. Edge making a film about your life with Tourette's to stop people's misunderstanding your tics, only for it to win a BAFTA and people will still misunderstand your tics. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened here. And then you had, and then you had the people who decided that they were going to try and earn some brownie points, some virtue signaling brownie points by making this man look like the villain in all of this. And Oh, geez, maybe they should have segregated him. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to put him? Do you want to put him in the kitchen like you did with Hattie McDaniel? We didn't do that. Y'all did that. Here's something that's a bit of a sidebar. I've been doing a lot of reading lately on old Hollywood. And I gotta tell you, man, these guys were always assholes. And they always thought they had the moral high ground, and they don't. Thank you, Mikey. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to come on and say tonight. Is I felt that somebody needed to be in this man's corner, and I have a bit of an understanding of what it is like for someone who has Tourette's. So, I felt I needed to come on and kind of defend this man. He did nothing wrong. It is a condition. It is a condition you can't control. And trust me, he's just as embarrassed about this whole thing as anybody else is. And on a night where he had the chance to show people what that's like, and they decided to make this thing out of it and virtue signal, and I think that kind of shows you who these people really are. Okay, take care, Mikey. Have a good stream. Get smart. Fun show. All right. Dealt with people like this over the years. Some are nice and won't hurt anyone, but I've dealt with people who think because they're special needs, was to say you're the bad guy for saying something. No. Oh, sure, they're going to be jerks everywhere, But I'm just saying that you gotta have a little bit of understanding. And yeah, sometimes that has to come both ways. Anyway, hey, I'm preaching to the choir. I know you're smart people. You don't need to, this is not me trying to convince you guys of what you already know. This is just me putting in my 2 cents, which is what this show is, more than anything else. And take care, Sasha. I'm about to wrap it up. I guess a fun ending for one this week, standing with John Davidson, because I understand what he's had to go through. Because I've seen people do it. All right. And as for people like Grace Randolph and her ilk, you should be ashamed of yourselves. All right. Well, if you stay to the end of the broadcast, you will be automatically redirected to Geeky Geezers with Aged Boomer, as he and Troy Pacelli and Netters Network discuss the events of the week. There's a couple of in memoriams as well to Neil Sedaka and Robert Carradine. We also lost Rob Grant in the last week, who's the co-creator of Red Dwarf. I'm sure they'll bring him up as well. Later on, at 11 p.m., will be my program, Reserve Seats. Writer Albert Lanier will be joining me, and he's going to be talking about the Oscars from the point of view of a journalist. Right after that show is completed, you will be redirected once again back to Troy's channel for his Doctor Who rewatch, as he completes the Marco Polo storyline. 3 episodes tonight, beginning at 12:30. I want to thank everyone currently following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to say hello to everyone who is, once again, to everyone who is with us here tonight in the chat. Tim, Al, Connie, JP, thank you for the member chat. Depenzak, Sen's Corner, Sashi, Boomer, Mikey, Enigma, and I think that was everybody. All right. Thank you all very much. Stay tuned for Geeky Geezers. From HQ. Oh, okay. Wait. Connie with a membership. Let's see who the lucky winner is. And it's Tim. All right. Well, welcome, Tim. All right. Let me take the banner down, because we will no longer need that. Yeah, I was a little concerned. So, yeah, I did not monetize this stream. So, because I figured, with the subject matter, they would... maybe YouTube would come after me, because I had to skirt around a word. But we tell the truth here. All right, so congratulations to Tim. Thank you, Connie, for gifting the membership. Going to go ahead and wrap the show here. Thank you all once again for joining me, and I'll see you tonight. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win. Don't let them divide us.
It's even odd when Ronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah. Steven Ottender, YouTube, bro, let's roll.